Adjusting the tension on a sewing machine is a little advanced for someone who is new to sewing. I recommend instead having a sewing machine dealer or repair shop to put the tension on a general setting for you, and for most cases that will work. It will not be perfect, but it will work. But if you do want to adjust the tension, I will give a quick overview here. On most machines, there will be a knob somewhere on the left side of the machine. It could be lower than the one here. It might even be over here on the side, but there will be a tension adjustment knob. It's going to range from very, very loose to very, very tight. This one in particular has a number system from 0 to 10, but that will be different on every machine. So first I will show you a stitch where the tension is fairly well adjusted. The key is to not try to get the tension perfect, but something that will work fairly well. And my needle has come unthreaded. It's okay. We will thread the needle. So here is a stitch where the tension is adjusted well. What's particular about it is it's not a perfectly straight line. You can see there are slight spaces in between the stitches on the top. And now I'll turn it over and we see something very similar. It's not a perfect line, but there are spaces in between. You don't see threads or continuously perfectly straight line there. And so this is the tension adjusted fairly well. Not perfect, but fairly well. Next, I will show you where the tension is too loose so you can see what that looks like. On the top, there's nothing too noticeable. You can see that there's still spaces. It's not a good line. It's not a perfect line which you want. So the top side looks fine. But if you flip it to the bottom side, you can see it's very different. This is the one where the tension is adjusted. This is the one where the tension is too loose. And if you look closely, you will see there are threads coming up from the other side here. There are not spaces in between the stitches. And it's also a pretty good line that's not broken. You want the line to be broken, as in this one. So when your bottom side looks like that, that means the tension is too loose. And so what you want to do is turn your knob up. You want to increase the tension. So it was at 0, and I'm turning it roughly to 5 on this particular machine is where it would have been adjusted correctly for this fabric. Now what we'll do is show you where the tension is too tight. So I'm going to turn this knob even higher. When the tension is too tight, on the top side you have the same problem that you had on the bottom side when the tension was too loose. So notice here on this stitch here where the tension is too tight, that this line is almost a perfect line. There's no break in the stitches like we had in this first one. And if I turn it over, that actually looks okay on that side. So when the tension is too tight, you'll see an issue on the top side first. as in this line here. When the tension is too loose, as in this line, you'll see the problem first on the bottom side, which was this line right here. And so you adjust this knob one way or the other depending on whether your tension was too tight or too loose. In this last case, it was too tight, so I would turn it back the other way. As a general rule of thumb, if a machine is well conditioned, this knob for most projects will work fine roughly in the middle.